Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, I am your host, Keisha Lancelin. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about how to make sure that that house is safe for each and every one of us. We are going to fall-proof your house. I'm here with Dr. Betts. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I would imagine being in the business of physical therapy, you see a lot of falls that happen, just in the house. People don't necessarily have to go somewhere or be somewhere to get hurt. What are things that we could do to kind of make our areas, our safe space, a little bit safer?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, falls are one of the leading reasons for death in ages 65 and older. So in that population, it is more prevalent, but this can happen to anyone. The CDC shows that starting at age 25, it's one of the top 10 reasons for death is an injurious fall. And each decade after that, that risk increases. So we're going to talk about how do we prevent this? So one of the biggest things is just making sure your home environment is clear of clutter. So a lot of us, we get home and we're rushing, we throw our bags down or we kick our shoes off at the door. So making sure you have a clear pathway down the hallways, stairwells, making sure that, especially in an older population, that there is a railing to hold on to, that there's no carpet loose that you might trip on. Walking, making sure also lighting is there. So I think a common thing that happens in household is the light switch is either at the bottom or the top of the stairwell, and we don't have one on each end. So if that's an issue, reaching out to an electrician to see if we can rewire that, or just, having an additional lighting so that you can make sure you can see the depths of the stairs going both up and down. And our bathrooms is a scary place sometimes because floors are slippery. So making sure there are grab bars in the shower, around the toilet. You can even get a raised toilet if you have difficulty getting in and off the toilet seat. So making sure that height's appropriate for your height. And then the bedroom. The bedroom, especially for seniors, is probably one of the highest risk of falls because you wake up in the night, you have to go to the bathroom, everything's dark, you're rushing to the bathroom because you don't want to wet the bed. So making sure there's a lamp close by on the table that you can easily reach. If you do use an assistive device, making sure it's near the bed and not across the room. And then once again, lighting, make sure there's night lights that light the pathway to it, make sure the clutter is not there. I think the other, the reason I love working at Physical is obviously we're very balance focused, but we also have pelvic floor specialists within our clinic. And so my thought is always, well, why are we getting up 5 times a night? A lot of times we're getting up because we need to go to the bathroom. So as a pelvic floor therapist, I want to address that and try to prevent you from the need to get up to go to the bathroom. So you're also reducing your fall risk as well.
Oh my God.
So kind of, here we're given that full package treatment of here's what we can, easily help with. And here's some of the things that we can work towards even more trying to prevent those falls.
Oh my God, that's such smart information. Some of those things, it sounds like as you were saying it, I'm like, well, duh, we should definitely be doing that. But I think until somebody says it to us, we don't really recognize the dangers that we have right there in our home. Like even the light switch thing, having a light switch, at the top and the bottom of the stairs makes sense if we're trying to prepare our homes for our seniors to come and live with us. A lot of us are, at that age now where mom and dad are coming to live with us, or we're going to live with them, or to take care of them. Those are the type of things that we want to know to keep them safe, and that's the type of information that can help us to do that. Is there a website for Physical? In case there's one in our area or close to us, could we learn more there?
Yeah, and so Physical is a franchise, so we have over 500 clinics nationwide, and within the Atlanta area, there's, I would say, at least 15. So the best way to find us is go to FYZICAL.com, FYZICAL.com. Just put in your zip code and you'll find the one that's closest to you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and for sharing all of this information and keeping us prepared. Again, in my head, when I first decided to do the story, I thought this is great for seniors and those who are taking care of seniors, but you gave some great tips for me too. I'm not quite a senior yet, Doc, but
I'll say the one thing I forgot to mention, it's a big one because we love having beautiful designed homes, is rugs. So carpets tend to really be a trip hazard, and cords. So making sure your cords are taped down, the rugs are flat, that no one will trip over those. That's probably a number one must.
Oh, I agree. Thank you so much for, sharing all this information and coming on today. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You as well. Thank you for having me, Keisha.
Absolutely. All right. The doctor has given you all the tips that you need. We want to make sure that we, fall-proof our homes. And it's not just for seniors, especially for seniors and those of us who take care of our parents, but it's also for the rest of us, right? Because some of those things, when you come home and you drop everything, right at the door, that's a tripping hazard. That's a hazard. Things that I never even thought about. If you have a mudroom, make sure you put things away. We just want to be safe. We want to be safe. Our home is our castle, right? That's the place we want to be the safest. Take the opportunity to go to the website and learn more. And stay tuned for more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.